Herbert's throwing it. Steps up for the end zone. Touchdown, Quentin Johnston. The flag is down, and the Chiefs are pointing in the direction of the Chargers. We have our first score here in Brazil, Kurt.
But you're going to see just Quentin Johnston right here. He's just going to sneak across in the man coverage there and find an opening, trying to get it to Omarion Hampton out of the backfield. Doesn't have him. Nice find by Justin Herbert.
And it's a Kurt Warner Rams jersey here. Here comes Herbert over the middle to a wide open Will Dissly. Tyler Conklin actually caught it and he fumbled it. And there's flags down now, 3 of them. All sorts of holy heck breaking loose right here. Spagnuolo's defense, you saw him looking on, giving up 7 first downs, and Herbert's throwing again. All kinds of time. And another wide open receiver. It's Conklin again, bringing it inside the red zone on a gain of 17, Kurt. Play fake to Hampton. Herbert from the L of the NFL Shield finds McConkey. Nice sliding catch inside the 30. And the Chargers from inside the red zone of the Kansas City Chiefs. Herbert for the end zone. There's Keenan Allen. Touchdown. Los Angeles Chargers. Wide open. Chargers up 7, Kurt.
Well, those guys know.
Herbert's throwing, fading back over the middle. Johnston, touchdown Chargers. Flag is down late after the play.
The defensive back and a perfect throw for another touchdown.
And with that, the Chargers needing a couple of first downs perhaps to just seal this game out, and they're throwing, and it's a wide open Will Dissly. And that's the way the drive starts. There's a first down.
Raiders bring pressure. Herbert steps up. On the move, scans end zone. A dart. Keenan Allen working his way in the back line, grabs it, and the Chargers jump on top. Make sure he got both feet down. In less than a yard, it's noisy, and fighting through, breaking tackles. Hampton still running, the rookie. Well, he keeps mentioning the future gold jacket. He talks about Mac almost with awe. Herbert launches downfield. It's Johnston in stride. Touchdown, Chargers. 60 yards. Justin Herbert just flicks it, and after a slow start tonight, number 10's got it cranked up now.
Yeah, this is a beautiful route combination, but sell job by. Watch Quentin Johnston.
2nd and 11. They back out and play coverage. Herbert with a long throw in the sidelines, reaching back to make the grab is the rookie Trey Harris.
They need the Bronco 45. Pipkins will block at the right tackle, and they get the first down. And Johnston breaks free, and there he goes. Can Afunga get him? Chased by Surtain and out of bounds. Near the 13. On this 2nd down and 6, and he's caught him downfield. Caught there, catched him again.
Because they can dictate in terms of pressure and those kinds of things, but he loves calling things on 1st and 2nd down.
There's a 2nd down. Got away from Tillman. And caught! What a grab! Flag thrown! Johnston inside the 5. Johnston on the move. Hampton gets the call. Touchdown with ease. And the Chargers build on their lead. On a 3-yard touchdown run by the rookie Hampton. His first NFL touchdown.
A little misdirection in the backfield. Watch the quick flash. The Broncos, you look at it the other way. If the Chargers get the win, now all of a sudden it's really almost like a 2-game lead, having beat every team in the division.
Nobody's out there. 2nd down and 7. Here he goes. Galloping free inside the 25. 5. Second down and 6. Herbert to the air. Pipkins the block at the right tackle. Got away from Allen. Herbert alive in the throw. Caught. Touchdown! Touchdown! Allen! What a play! How in the world did Herbert keep that alive?
Now it's sustaining it for the whole season.
Herbert on 1st and 10. He gets a block from Deculus. Downfield, caught 5, touchdown. Johnston works on Belton. And Banks. 36-yard touchdown pass. And the Chargers are back in business.
Well, this looks like a quarter coverage. So you got the corner who bites on see the little stutter and go, but he has safety help over the top, but it's thrown in that part of the field where the safety can't get over. He doesn't expand far enough. Excellent route by Johnston with the stutter to get off the line of scrimmage. He had 5, and it didn't matter how good you are. Turnovers will come back to haunt you.
1st and 10. And the run here and the galloping move. And look at the run by the rookie Hampton. He'll take it in for the touchdown. What a sprint. 54 yards. Down run by Hampton. His second rushing touchdown in his career. Blocked by Harris. And off to the races, and Newman couldn't get him.
Well, that's why they're so high on this kid. And that's why when Harris went down, they gave him more of the load. A week ago, has 70 yards rushing against the Broncos. And today, when given more opportunity now, only 9 carries in the.
Hampton right here, blocked by Gadsden, blocked ahead as well by Johnson. There he goes, galloping again for a first down. Brought down by a Karake. 2 sacks, 21 quarterback pressure, 2nd down and 10 for Herbert. No timeouts, winding up and going long, and he's got Johnston at the 40. Grabbed by Flott, Flott down there. They can't stop the clock. It ticks away, and the Giants have won their first game of the season.
3rd and short. Blitz coming. Herbert senses, runs. Herbert first down. Still on his feet. Justin Herbert. Foot race. And he's upended inside the 30. On the fake. Herbert throwing. End zone caught for the touchdown. It's McConkey.
Yeah, this is more of a man coverage play again with the halfback to the flat. But McConkey just kind of gets lost as he goes.
3rd down here. Blitz is coming. Picked up. Quick throw. Keenan Allen's got it. Breaks the tackle. A lot of room. Allen to midfield. He's got a first down into Commander's territory.
And then try and double move him because he knows Jack Jones gambles.
Vidal on 3rd down. He's got a lane. Vidal into the open field. And Vidal is finally brought down along the sideline. Kamani Vidal, a 38-yard run. Haskins in at running back. And a play action on 1st down. Herbert looking deep. He's got McConkey wide open. And McConkey still on his feet. Down at the 31-yard line. A 22-yard pickup for McConkey.
His first NFL game since 2022. Notice there's a tight end on his side often to help him out in pass protection.
Vidal gets to the outside and turns it on. Tripped up on the play by Ashton Davis, but a first down run. Herbert back to the air. Over the middle, fires a strike. And McConkey's able to hold down. Took a big shot after the catch, but McConkey
running across the field and trying to run away from leverage.
That's Gadsden on the backside of the formation.
3rd and goal. Herbert on the move. Chased by Saylor. Throws. Touchdown. Ladd McConkey. Great drive by Herbert and the Chargers, and they regain the lead.
Jason, that was not a traditional crossing route, but I think the end result was what you were saying that they like to do.
They like to bring a guy from one side of the field.
Herbert to the air. He's looking for Gadsden, and he's got him. Arande Gadsden picks up a Los Angeles first down. Douglas on the tackle.
That big offensive line again. It's like a barge up front.
3rd down and 1. Play fake. Herbert to Vidal. 1st down and angling for the end zone. That's a touchdown. Kamani Vidal. And the Chargers take advantage after the Tagovailoa interception.
That formation reminds me of something I saw at Wisconsin years ago. Can move into the next phase, which is fake the screen, slip it, and that guy goes downfield for a bigger shot.
Here's Vidal. He's got an opening. 1st down and more. Kamani Vidal dragged down by Jack Jones. Pressure coming again. Herbert in trouble. Herbert keeps it alive. Completes it to McConkey, who stops at a dime. There he goes. McConkey inside the 20. How did Herbert do it?
Chargers now down by 10. Vidal on the backfield. Herbert on the move and perfectly placed. Catch made at the 40, extra yards after the grab by Gadsden.
Keep in mind, those backup offensive tackles are going to have to protect well for Justin Herbert to move the ball down the field.
No Joe Alt today, no Trey Pipkins today. Step up, Herbert delivers downfield. The catch is made by Gadsden. And Gadsden, with a flag down, continues to take it downfield. The penalty marker thrown back at the 41-yard line. Herbert, fake the handoff. Dials it up. End zone. Touchdown. A strike to Johnston. Fake the handoff. Herbert out of the pocket. Avoids the sack. Throws for the touchdown. A low pass is handled for the score. Keenan Allen. That is a special connection. Rushes on. Herbert steps up. Herbert throwing on the move. Catch, turn, touchdown. Justin Herbert delivers to Gadsden. And the Chargers remain alive.
Seven and a half minutes. 3rd and goal on the 14th play of this drive. To the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Gadsden.
Here's your matchup right here. And good job of giving him just enough time. Good stem there to sell it to the outside.
What more can you do to help him?
Yeah, we'll try to help on the edges. We'll try to help inside where we can, see if we can get the ball out. We've had a good chance to use some quick passing over the last few weeks. We'll see if we can do that and get some catch and runs for some of our guys.
6 rushes, 1 pass on this drive. Make it a 7th rush and make it a touchdown. Vidal into the end zone. And on the scoreboard, it's 14-0, Los Angeles. Chargers got him in the 6th round last year. Matlock moving. Play action. Herbert just throws wide open. Gadsden inside the 40 to the 34-yard line. Whoa. 2nd and 10. Going for it all. Out in front. Pulled in. Ladd McConkey. Touchdown.
If the safety comes down, he knows he's got the one-on-one matchup. It's exactly what he had. And what a job by Ladd.
And then number 2 back right now would be Hassan Haskins, and he's out tonight. Look at Vidal go again. Still going. Whoa. To the 27-yard line. Just a skosh. Herbert rolling, looking, throwing, and that's going to be caught for the touchdown by Trey Harris.
Jim Harbaugh and Greg Roman telling us that this young rookie out of Ole Miss.
Well, can he get his 5 here? Yes, he can. Into triple figures and more. Tackled by Eric Wilson.
Well, the
Two tight ends on the right side off the play fake. Herbert looking to throw. Pass is complete. Matlock dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers. It's his second reception of the year, and this one is a score. And he gets the celebration, rightfully so. Chargers go to work, down 4. 12:04 to play here in the first half. Herbert goes to McConkey, and McConkey is able to stretch it across midfield and inside Titans territory.
I'm trying to single-handedly make it not cool anymore. I think it's working.
First down. Herbert going to the end zone for Johnston. He's got it. Throw it over the top of the defender. It's a 20-yard touchdown pass from Herbert. Right before the 2-minute warning, Herbert gets a playoff. He pumps a few times. Now he runs. He hasn't run all day, but he's going to run for the first down and more. Inside Titans territory, out of bounds. With the play clock winding down, he sees something looking for Johnston. Makes the shoulder grab, off shoulder grab. He got it. The 1-yard line of Los Angeles. They fake the shovel pass. Herbert rolls the pocket. Now heads toward the end zone. Slides in safely. Touchdown Chargers. 26-17. Oh, he didn't stay for all 18 innings of the World Series game the other day, but he certainly picked up a few things.
We're down to 16 seconds left. Herbert throwing inside. Touchdown McConkey. Lad McConkey's 4th of the year. The game's first touchdown. And the Chargers take advantage of the interception.
To try to cover, and Herbert just threw a rocket right in there before Jalen Ramsey could get there. Or why are they getting so much pressure on Herbert? Because they trust Ramsey on the back end.
3rd and 6. Herbert taking off. A lot of room. First down, slides down at the 44-yard line. 3rd and 6. It's Allen's down. Herbert throws. McConkey's got it. He's gone. McConkey chased by Ramsey. 20. Stops his feet. Cuts back inside to the 13-yard line. Jalen Ramsey forced him back inside, but a 58-yard gain for Lad McConkey. First and goal for the 2. It is Vidal to the left into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers.
Oh, baby. Remember what Justin Herbert told us about his head coach? He said when we get in the locker room after a big win, he starts handing out game balls, and then all of a sudden people just yell out names, and then Harbaugh will scream his name, and they'll give out 30, 35 game balls.
They are trying to build, and the style with which they're trying to build. That's a pop pass to Allen that sets the record for the most receptions in Chargers history. So on a pop pass, on first down, Keenan Allen now has the mark, passing Antonio Gates for the most receptions in Chargers history.
But he is a guy that you really want on the field, especially in 3rd and long. Herbert protected. Herbert puts a man under it, and it is caught. Boy, that's a Hall of Fame catch. Chargers can get a first down without scoring a touchdown. Herbert standing in there again, now throws, it's complete. Johnston pinballs in, touchdown! Quentin Johnston with his 7th touchdown of the year. And a drive that took up nearly 9 minutes culminates in the Chargers' 5th opening.
The players they believe have worked their butts off and deserve a win.
Here's Vidal on 3rd down, and he turns it upfield for a first down. Still going. Kamani Vidal down the sideline, and he has a touchdown. A 59-yard score. A career-long run for Kamani Vidal, and the Chargers regain the lead.
Take a look right there at 68. Gets the kick-out block on Porter, and Vidal makes an excellent cut before the inside pursuit can get to him. And then he hits the home run. The great nephew of Hank Aaron does exactly like...
McConkey in motion on 3rd and 2. Herbert looking to run. Buying time now, throws, caught, touchdown! Lad McConkey.
But he had him early on this play as well.
When he didn't get him early, McConkey finished the route and then came back. And that's what got him open on the second movement. And Max just reacted afterwards. He's like, all right, we're good, right?
Here's Trey Harris on 3rd and 2, and he picks up the first down. Another 3rd down conversion for Los Angeles. Patterson, the running back. And Patterson is in for a touchdown. His 3rd career rushing touchdown, but his first in 4 years. And the Chargers add to their lead. Another frustrating day at the office for Max Crosby and Las Vegas.
Look how hard he...
Vidal back in the backfield on 3rd down, and Herbert is going to drop it to him. Big play. Vidal in a foot race. Zach Bond knocks him out. Second down and goal. Herbert wide open, touchdown, rookie Omarion Hampton. Welcome back. Seen Herbert hand off to his right, and now we see him complete to Hampton for the first points of the night. Chargers on top, 7-zip.
Keep this Chargers offense to a field goal.
2nd and goal from the 4. Herbert in the shotgun again. Sully out to the flat. He's got the catch. He's got the touchdown. It's not a 23-19. It's 6. And the Chargers are on the board first.
Just make it look easy. They go right down the field. Sully's the star. Dump it off to him a couple times as a pass catch.
The way these defenses have been playing tonight might not be all bad to get the ball the 3rd time. So Chargers might be in a good spot.
He did it again. Herbert keeps it, and a big pickup. Trevor Penning comes in. Extra offensive lineman. First down. Handoff is to Hampton. And a big pickup. Brought down at the 40 by Blankenship. Got a good block from Trevor Penning.
Minimal wind, as we talked about. You just saw Dicker warming up. The running back is Vidal. And Herbert to the air. Here comes Jones. And the pass. Caught! Harris caught the ball at the 25 of the Chiefs. He is down.
Conkey had a punt return that he let go because he couldn't completely see it.
Idell the back, 3rd and 3, Herbert. Here comes Karlaftis, and to the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! Grabbed on the play by Lambert Smith. His 2nd catch of the season, 1st career touchdown reception. 2nd career reception, 1st career touchdown reception.
But I want you to watch Herbert. Watch this. He steps up in the pocket. Now watch, he jumps. He jumps and throws because he knows his arm's about to be hit. So he's
Hampton the back. 2nd down 5. Opening drive of the 2nd half. Matlock on the move. And play action by Herbert. Sets up. Here comes Karlaftis. There goes the ball. Caught inside the 5. What a grab made Gadsden.
And that's why they say just their main focus is just trying to get the win and can't control the other stuff.
Cellular block for Hampton. And Salyer's block opens the door. And Hampton down that sideline. Whacked out of play by Tranquil. 25-yard run.
When they're 3rd and 6 plus, that's where Herbert gets hit, gives up sacks, and it's really problematic for this offense.
So these 2nd down and 7 plays are big. Shot down the field, end zone, it is held on to by Johnston for the touchdown. The Texas native with a fabulous catch for the score.
Boy, it is good to have Quentin Johnston back. He is their big size receiver. Their down the field threat, but could not have thrown this ball any more perfect.
Just a 4-man rush this time for Dallas. Herbert's got a man down the sideline. McConkey for the touchdown. Separation for McConkey against Diggs, and a dime from Justin Herbert to take the lead for LA.
Let's watch this. It looks like they clear this thing out, and then you're going to get basically McConkey coming down.
It's going to be Herbert with the push from Matlock, and he's in for the touchdown. Five guys on the line, right?
Down line, yep.
There it is. Herbert off the play fake, stepping up, climbing the pocket, taking a shot. Johnston! He held on. He is inbounds for the catch, down inside the 25 of Dallas. And the former TCU Horned Frog picks up 50.
When you've allowed him to escape.
Extra body coming for the Dallas pressure, nearly got to Herbert. They could not contain him. And there he goes sprinting, getting a block, and down inside the Dallas 35.
But it's man-to-man coverage, so you're just going to have to hold up in man coverage.
Risk reward from the Dallas defense, bringing pressure, but that leaves a man in Johnston. He beats Diggs and the Cowboys secondary for a big gainer and a first down. Second and goal for LA. Little shuffle off to the right. It's Hampton, and it's a touchdown. The third rushing touchdown of his NFL career, and a key blow delivered by this Chargers offense.
Yeah, this offensive line, as much as they've struggled at times, when they were...
Herbert goes deep for Johnston. He has him. Johnston! Big time play for the Chargers, down to the Texans 14. 3rd and 14. Herbert steps up. He's going to run it. And he's got room. He takes the hit and absorbs it. Justin Herbert. Herbert keeps, rolls, touchdown! Gadsden! Chargers! 17-9, extra point pending. 1-score game.
Great play call here. Heavy personnel, everything looks like run. Gadsden's on the left-hand side. He's going to sneak back behind everybody. Good.
Justin Herbert from his own 25 down 10. Has time, and he's got an open McConkey. Right on cue. It's a fresh set of downs from the 35. Herbert over the middle. Gadsden has it and keeps possession. Lassiter on the stop. 3:40 to go. Down 10. 2nd and goal from the Houston 5. They're going to hand it off to Hampton. Touchdown. The rookie hits the end zone. And it's currently a 4-point game. Attempt of his career. Meaning it's still a 4-point game after this run.
Wow, nice run there. Nice little hole.
Line up just off the quarterback. And here's the give. Patterson finds himself open. Lance, he's got room for the first down and an extra 10. And look at Gadsden down the field, still holding onto his block.
If you don't give up a first down, you're the #1 defense. If you do, you're
right. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. That's esoteric.
I love it.
Look it up in the dictionary. Here you go. Lance. Oh, my goodness. He got 12.
For them to trust him the rest of the way.
After the loss of a yard, he's in as a blocker as Herbert looks for a space and finds Lat McConkey. Little move by McConkey. He'll go down at the 47-yard line.
They have to go attack that position because he has been the one that's been stopping them all night.
Herbert's trying to find some space. He's taking off, trying to take it in his own hands. He made a great move. Herbert jump starts the drive, knocked out of bounds at the 47-yard line.